Nice midweek win. Got a little offense continue to stay hot for you guys.
Yeah, we scored 6 runs in the first,
Yeah.
and you end up, and they score 5. So, like I say, sometimes you score more runs in one inning, right, than the opponent scores in the entire game. And so, fortunately, we put up a big inning there in the first, and Byram gives us the big 3-run homer. But it's a little bit of an ugly game, and not sharp on the mound, not efficient, not great on defense. And so after the first inning, it's just a little bit of sloppy baseball. But, we did enough to win. The goal as a coach is just don't let winning mask, right, areas that you were a little short in today, and let's pick that up.
You've mentioned that you want the team playing with the chip on their shoulder, and they seem like they have been. Did the chip, was it there today? Or
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just, that handshake line was different than it was Sunday. And I'm not a fan of that. Like, I'm all about the Sunday game, and that's exciting. But, man, I'm about the Tuesday game. And you got to run out there and earn it. And for some reason, I dressed it in practice yesterday. I dressed it in the scouting report meeting. But they have to, again, player led. Let's make sure, man, we don't come out like that, a little bit flat again.
Is it hard to come out that way, like when, off the big weekend, and like you almost could maybe almost see a letdown coming in that sort of way, like if you're not careful?
Well, everyone's aware of it because it happens in sports, right? Nobody would talk about it if it didn't happen in sports. And that's just the power of the mind and the heart and the soul. And, you got to have an edge about you. And I addressed it yesterday in practice. Like, it starts with preparation. And you have to prepare mentally and physically. And so looking at the schedule, I don't know if you really can't afford to let that happen at this time of the year, but it does happen. And let's just turn the page and get ready to play good baseball at Notre Dame.
you say turning the page takes you to South Bend. What do you know about the Irish in that weekend
They
series?
played good.
Yeah.
On the weekend, they're really tough. They've competed on the road, so usually you're better at home. And so, they're going to be – it's a dogfight when you go up there, and that's just the way the ACC is set this year. So let's get tempo and momentum, and let's set the tone on the mound. Let's play good defense behind them, and then you hope you score more runs than they do.
You mentioned it wasn't always pretty on the mound or behind him today, but man, you found a couple dudes at the back end where throw cuts out there with the bases loaded. You bring Schweitzer back in. You'd mentioned how good he's been and allowed you to maybe even bring Tucker to start on Sunday. And you found a couple dudes back there that can really get you some outs.
No doubt. Wyatt, Cutts, and Schweitzer were the guys today that just were really efficient. I think Eli Hoyt did some good things, but a lot of the innings weren't a free base runner, a ball to the backstop. It's like we're giving up a run. And again, you hit 3 doubles in a row, I tip my hat. But, we kind of, credit them, their offense. They're very patient, and they worked a lot of walks today. But, yeah, there are some guys that are pitching just in that role. They just really settle in, and that does give us the flexibility with a Bivin to kind of use him in any role. And that's, at this time of the year, I don't know if you should care when you're throwing. It's major Division I baseball. And I got to get an out or 2 or 3 outs, or I got to get 6 out. And that's been one of our strengths this year is guys have pitched well in many roles, and that's pitching. And nowadays, more than ever, you have to have a hybrid personality, because in pro ball, oh my gosh, everybody's throwing out of the bullpen and everybody's throwing an inning here or there. And I'd like to think what's going on in college baseball now, these guys should be more prepared for.
It seems like almost not every game, but a lot of the games we're talking about somebody different, about how powerful this offense can be. Today it was Hott's turn. Could you just talk about his day at the plate?
I was really happy for Hott because he's been in a good rotation with Kamayu all year, but we just felt like we were going to let Kamayu play on a consistent basis with the energy and the juice and just the success we were having. And so, Byram missed a couple starts that maybe he had gotten the past few weeks, but he was professional. He didn't act like a baby. He seemed good in the dugout, and he was prepared. And one thing I told him yesterday, you are the utility guy on our infield because he almost went to first. I DH'd. Nate got the hit in the DH spot, so it was an easy transition. I trust Nate at first, and so once Tague went in the pitch, we had a 9-man lineup. But Byram thought he was going to first, and that's good because I want him thinking like that, get comfortable at all 4 spots and how valuable. I mean, if there's anything these guys follow in pro ball, nobody was a fan of it years ago, playing multiple spots. And then Drew Ellis ran around our field and played left, and then he played third, and then he played first when McKay pitched, and he was a second-round pick. And then it became kind of like the sexy thing. And then, everybody wanted to run to the outfield, and everybody wanted to play first, and they started to realize if you pay attention to baseball, the value of playing multiple positions is huge, especially when we're going to have a smaller roster, right? So enjoy that opportunity. It's the same for pitchers. The value of being able to pitch in multiple spots, starter, reliever, runners on base, start my own inning, they should feast on that. They should thrive for every opportunity they get because that only makes them a better pitcher, And like I said, today we kind of didn't have that look today. But again, give Byram a lot of credit because he was ready to play and he played his tail off.
Great. All right, appreciate it.
All
Thanks,
right.
Dan.